So one of the first things that I tried to do before I dove into complete applications with vibe coding using AI was to try to develop little elements for existing websites. So if you don't know much about web architecture, there are little elements that comprise any given homepage, elements that you've used and interacted with many, many times before. One of these is the humble swiper, and there are many different viewpoints about the usefulness and utility of this. Some people suggest they shouldn't exist, it should just be horizontal scroll. There have been many versions of something as simple as this, and you've seen all of those versions across thousands of websites for the last decade, some good and some very bad. So in the WordPress days, they would have built-in ones, and they were often very clunky and terrible. And then the internet kind of moved to Next.js and React and better architectures. And then you had dedicated swiper libraries like this one, which we used to use in the past, called Swiper.js. Lots of different complicated ideas, some good for mobile, some good for desktop, but the idea is always the same, a way to scroll between content on different device sizes, because it's a very effective way of getting people to engage with your website. Another one that was used a lot in the past called Flickety. And Flickety is great because you can flick it on your thumb and it has a lot of good attributes. But here's the problem with a lot of these things. What's this? Commercial license, $25, $110. It's part of that class of apps that can eat away at your budget. One $25 a month subscription at a time. If you're like me, you've got 4,000 subscriptions, each only $25, and getting rid of them is a game of whack-a-mole that feels like it's impossible to win. So if we can spare $25 a month for something like this, or if we can spare any kind of fee and do it ourselves, it's better. Now, before you think that this is tacky, one of the best examples of using swipers in the world is, of course, Apple. They've done it on this right here, and you can swipe with the trackpad horizontally. I love that you can see the top fades differently. It's just beautiful. It feels very buttery smooth, very classy. Obviously, Apple is going to get something like this right. Also, the animations down at the bottom are a very, very nice touch. You can choose to play, you can choose to pause. So I wanted to ask if I could create something like that, and I built the ultimate one for me. And this is more complicated than it might seem at first glance. So a lot of them, like Swiper and Flickety, they don't support horizontal trackpad scrolling, which is for me a must. Apple uses that, and if you're on a Mac, you expect to be able to horizontally scroll. So that's one. I built this, I built a play, I built a pause. I also built key commands. You can hit spacebar to play or pause. You can hit right, left to navigate. Key commands are very important for any pro user. And all of this, it slows down on hover, it shows the content, and of course it also shows more when you hit more, and it expands each card. So I'm very happy with this, using it on my own site, and I love it. One of the first things that I did with vibe coding. So I'll explain to you how it works on the back end, which makes it even that much cooler. On the back end, I've built courses where I've had over 30,000 students at this point, and they leave reviews. And I've been very fortunate that I've had hundreds or even thousands of 5-star reviews. So within Udemy, I'm able to sort all of the 5-star reviews. I'm able to sort the ones that have a comment. Those are the ones we want. And I can export those to CSV. And once you've exported them to CSV, it's a very trivial matter to take them into ChatGPT or Claude and say, hey, can you clean up all of this data? I don't want to show their full name, so let's just show their first name and the first letter, and can you standardize all of these since people type all kinds of crazy stuff? Can you format them? And then you end up with an Excel sheet, which I uploaded into Airtable. So all of the 5 stars, all of the people's names trimmed thanks to ChatGPT and Claude, and now I have a table with all of the 5-star reviews that I have received, which is pretty cool, very exciting. So I used Claude and I used ChatGPT, and I also used a combination of V0 app to create this, and it dynamically pulls using Airtable's API a random selection of these that changes every time. So each time I refresh the page, I'll see a different set that starts, so you'll get a completely different set to keep it fresh and keep it fun, all based on Airtable. So this saves me money. I think not only that, it's better than all of the off-the-shelf solutions that I could have possibly bought. This was the second type of tier that I went to in my journey to start vibe coding, and this was when I really started to see some practical utility versus just using Lovable to mock up something that really wasn't meant to be used. I was able to create something that absolutely can be used and is used because, as As simple as this stupid thing is, I've had so much frustration with something like a swiper for as many years as I can remember, and anybody who develops websites for a living will as well. So that's it. If you want more tips on AI and integrating it into your workflow, or if you want to bring me as a speaker, get in touch and I'll share with your organization how you can start bringing AI into your world to make little things like that easier. Subscribe and follow, leave comments for things that you'd like to know about, and I'm going to go over those more in these types of videos if you are interested. Have you done anything like this? I'm curious. Have you built one type of app that automated something that not only made your life easier, but also made the end result better? Curious to know. Thanks for watching. See ya.